I have started my career on this particular ERP domain in 2014. So 2014, at that particular time, D365 was not there. So I've started my career on previous versions of this particular application. So AX 2009 was the AX means Accepta. Accepta 2009 was the name of the version on which I have started my career in 2014. Then after I worked on Accepta 2012 R2 and R3 versions. And then after I started working and the evolution of Dynamics 365 was started. And I'm working on this particular Dynamics 365 2018. Okay, so I got my first opportunity to work on Dynamics 365 in 2018. Okay, I'm a full-time consultant working for an IT company. So, and teaching is my part profession. So I like this particular profession, teaching profession. So that's why I'm into this profession also from 2018. I've started this particular, I'm into the teaching field as well. So almost, if I complete this particular year, 7 years passed, and I'm with Visualpath from the past 2 years. So I have an agenda for today's session as well. So I'm not going to read all these particular topics which I have mentioned in this particular time. Anyway you will get it for sure. But I would take the responsibility for giving information on certain things like what will be your responsibilities. Okay, if you learn this particular, if you get a job on this particular application called Dynamics 365 as a consultant, what will be your responsibilities? First thing, and why as you have already taken a decision, so what will be there under this particular course? You will be provided with some information on the details of the particular course and the details on on introduction related to this particular course. These two things, I'll make sure I will give you the clarity by the end of this particular session. And you people also can decide whether I will be able to give justice to you people for your learning or not. You can have a decision and you can take this particular course. This is a kind of demo session. The batch maybe who are the students who have enrolled. Maybe I think next week the batch will be started. To my knowledge or to the extent of information I had, and the day exact date and timings it's not in my hands. It will be the final call will be taken by the Visualpath. So for the next 30 minutes of time or at least 20 to 25 minutes of the time, so I'll take time in explaining certain things to you, and then after we'll have the Q&A session. I have few slides where I ask some questions. It's up to you people. If you want to interact, you can interact. If not, that is fine. So one such slide is what is IT. Of course, IT stands for information technology. Maybe some few people are there. Why I add this particular slide means sometimes to my demo session, students who are just graduated will join, and the people who doesn't have any idea about IT industry also will join. So that's why I'll keep this particular slide. Of course, you people know it. You people can share your thoughts, and later on I'll share my view about what happens in IT. This was the actual question. So you people can share your thoughts on it.
Hey, so Datate, I think I am actually not from an IT background, so my understanding is, see, consultants, just a very high level. So, like I said, I'm from the finance domain, so I'm a kind of cost
No
account.
worries. You just whatever the idea that you have, you
Yeah,
just tell me because it's my duty to give you clarity on what happens in IT.
yeah.
So it's up to whatever you know, you just share your thought on it. That is fine.
So I think the simple way to explain, so I have an understanding of a SAP consultant, okay?
Hmm.
So a long back, I wanted to do it, but for some reason I never did it. That's
Hmm.
one reason I am trying to do this for D365. That's one reason I'm jumping into this. Since D365 is starting right now, starting in the sense compared to SAP, it's very new,
Hmm.
isn't it? And it's growing fast, right?
Hmm.
So,
Right.
SAP consultant is getting inputs from the business, then explain to the IT guy who actually does a lot of uh, typical IT work. So that which is what I refer as IT.
Hmm.
So consultant is not a guy necessarily who does coding as such. So he's more of a guy who understands the business and gets it done through somebody who's technically sound.
Okay.
From a coding perspective.
Great. Great. Okay. Any other thoughts?
I assume basically I'm from mechanical background. I assume it like from the products that I see. IT is kind of knowledge that helps um, an human to solve problems easier than being smarter than human. So it is driven by the data, and the solvers mostly depend on the mathematical forms.
Mhm.
And what else I know much?
All right. So basically, your answer
Yeah,
is what happens in IT means there will be some data-driven
yeah.
functionalities will be developed in Dynamics 365. Is this what you want to say?
Maybe you can
Yeah.
conclude it that way. Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. No worries. No
To make
worries.
it
Yeah.
faster.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. So now I'll tell my view. Thanks for sharing. So now I'll tell my view about IT. It's not something that I have learned from Google and telling you people now. So it's the out of my experience. So almost 10 years completed. So I'm into my 11th year. If this August was also turned, then I would have completed my 11 years of experience in IT industry. So out of the experience I have, so this is what I came to know about IT. So I can categorize the operations that are being carried out in IT in two ways. First one is IT using the information. IT people or IT industry will sell the technology. I'll repeat it again. Using the information, IT people or IT industry will sell the technology. Here, the information can be any sort of information related to the business. Okay, let's say um, today some person is looking for an ARP license. Okay, so the requirement why that person is looking for an ERP solution will become a requirement to the consultant of an IT, of the person who is working under IT industry. So what that consultant will do, they will that consultant will take the business information and the exact need of that particular customer business, and whatever the application that was there, they will customize the application according to the business needs, and that application itself is a technology. Using the information, IT people will sell the technology. Okay, so this is one scenario, and we call that as implementation also. It's a new implementation, new product. When the product is Dynamics 3, let's say if you take this Dynamics 365, the product is Dynamics 365 F&O, but we are customizing it exclusively for the customer's business operations. This is one area, and the other one area is the support. Support in the sense, let's say already a particular product is there, which was already developed or implemented. Now for that particular developed or implemented product, we are going to provide the assistance to the end users for the errors that they are for the errors or some user training or some amendments or enhancements that they are looking for the if I are looking for in the application. That sort of support will be provided by the IT. So I mean, if someone asks you what happens in IT, I mean, leaving that housekeeping related things, the administrative related things, the finance related things. What exclusively happens in IT means these are the two scenarios. Using the information, IT people will sell the technology, and the second one is using the technology, IT people will play with the data. Okay, so they can create the data, they can, whatever the data that was created, they can store the data and they can retrieve the data whenever they want, they can transmit the data. So let's say here, forget about D365 one now. If I give a thought on those days where there was no MS Office also. So in those days, maybe I used to think that people will have a requirement. I mean, at that, I'm not. I mean, so I'm not working in those scenarios where in those days where MS Office was not there. So, but if I give a thought, this is what that comes to my mind, that people have a requirement of creating the data in with multiple fonts, multiple sizes, with different colors like that, and they want to store the data, and whenever they want to edit it again, they want to retrieve the data that they have already created, and if They want to share it to someone else. Maybe these are the requirements that the people are having at those times where we don't have MS Office. So these are the two major operations that happens in IT. Using the information, IT people will sell the technology, and using the technology, IT people will play with the data. Yeah, data or the information. Play with the data or the information means in a very positive way, when which enhances the customer business. Okay, so these are the two operations that happens in an implementation and support. And now other slide I have is ERP. So ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. So I have a picture here also. Why we need to learn this particular concept called ERP before we start with the before we start learning the Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations. So why we need to learn this particular ERP? Because Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations itself is an ERP product. So why we are calling Dynamics 365 F&O as an ERP product means take a particular business in the most probably in the demo sessions. I will take the very frequent example that I used to take and explain is the business of Maruti Suzuki. So I'll explain the nature of that particular business, and then I'll explain you the definition of ERP, and then I'll bring you people to the picture of what is the connection between the ERP and Dynamics 365. Okay, the story of this particular Maruti Suzuki is if someone asks you what is Maruti Suzuki, the very high level answer that we can give them is it's a car manufacturing company, or else it was a company who will I mean the company which is selling the cars to the customers. So these are the high level answers that we can give to the person who asked us what this Maruti Suzuki company does. Okay, so if you give a thought on this particular Maruti Suzuki company, what happens at the background? Of course, the answers are right. When it's a car manufacturing company and they will sell cars to the customers. Okay, so on at the back end of this particular Maruti Suzuki company, so different departments will be there. And in order to manufacture a particular car, so it all starts with the raw material procuring actually. Okay, let's say the design was ready, everything was ready. If the manufacturing has to be initiated, so it all starts with the procuring of the raw materials. So there will be a department called purchasing department who will create the purchase orders based on the demand that the product is having in the market. So let's say there was a demand for 1 lakh cars in a particular year, and depending on the production plant capacity and how many cars they can manufacture in a particular month, depending on that they have to they have to procure the raw materials. The procurement of raw materials will be done by the procurement or the purchasing. So a purchasing department is required by the Maruti Suzuki company to do this activity. And next, whatever the raw materials that are procured by the company, those raw materials have to be stored in a proper way so that whenever there is a requirement, those items need to be sent to the production floor for manufacturing purpose. If all the items which are purchased, if those are dumped like in a ad, so it is not easy to pick a particular item and send it to the production floor. So those has to be properly segregated and stored in the warehouse for the operational needs. This activity will be done by the inventory and warehouse management team. So definitely Maruti Suzuki requires a inventory and warehouse management team here. And let us assume the raw materials are procured and the company has received it and those are properly stored. So whenever there is a need here, it has to be sent to the production floor and the manufacturing activity has to happen. So Maruti Suzuki need a particular production team here to carry out that particular manufacturing activity. And the next one is, let us assume the car was ready now. So the Maruti Suzuki need a marketing team to market their product and to grab the customer's attention. So marketing people will come up with their strategies and all, and they will market the product. So marketing team is required for Maruti Suzuki to market their product. And they require a sales team also to give some good experience to the customer and to save all the required details of the customer to whom they have sell that particular product. So a sales team is required for Maruti Suzuki to carry out that particular sales. And once the car was sold, definitely as it is an automobile company, service will be there. So a separate servicing team also will be there to do that particular servicing activity. for that particular car service, a separate service department will be there. As these many departments are there and different people are working, then definitely Maruti Suzuki need a human resource department to handle all the, I mean, employees and asset to the company, to handle the skills of the particular employees, and to handle the leave management or this particular employee related things, to handle all those things. So HR department is required, and also payroll department is required to provide salaries to this particular team, to the concerned team of team members of Maruti Suzuki at right time. So payroll team is required for them. So finance team will be there. Sometimes in certain companies, this will be divided into accounts payable and accounts receivable. So accounts payable team will take care of the amounts or the finances which are involved with the amounts that company has to pay to their suppliers, and accounts receivable team will take care of the scenarios, take care of the amounts which company has to get from the customers. So for the smooth operations of the particular company called Maruti Suzuki, these many departments are there, and in each and every department, so multiple persons will work together for the betterment of that particular organization development. Okay, so now, as the Maruti Suzuki company, let us assume they have a demand of 1 lakh cars. So they have to procure the raw materials in such a way. In January, what was their capacity for doing the manufacturing? So accordingly, they have to procure the raw materials, and that raw materials they will purchase in bulk quantity. So what they have to do is I mean, whenever they create a purchase order, so it's not one purchase order they will create. Daily multiple purchase orders will be created, and each and every item they will have different delivery dates from the vendor. And once after the item was some items will be damaged, they have to handle the returns as well, and all those things has to be handled by the procurement team. It's not easy for a human brain to handle all those things, so they need a system support or a software support to handle that particular purchasing activity. Similarly with the inventory and warehouse management team as well. So how many, if they are receiving lakhs of items that company has procured, so they need to have an idea what was the item that was coming in, what was the item that was going out to the production floor. So here also inventory and warehouse management team require a solution support for that, and for sales team also software solution is required to record the customer related details and what was the data. I mean, what was the item that they have sold to the customer? If that data was recorded, then only they will be able to call for the service. Usually, for it is a scooty or a bike or any particular car, we used to get reminders for the servicing thing, right? So this company will be able to send the reminders only when they save the data of which car or which particular bike or which particular item was sold to whom. If those details are saved, then only they will be able to send reminders like that. So they also need a software solution for this. Similarly, for the human resource management, for the what was the amount that the company has paid to vendors, what was the amount that the company is receiving from the customers, and the how much salaries are paid. So all these information has to be recorded in the system. So definitely each and every department that lies in IT requires a software solution support. Okay, that's where the ERP concept was introduced. ERP, in if you see in some websites, it will be mentioned like ERP itself is a software. For me, ERP, I do agree with that particular statement, but if ERP itself is a software, then why we have different names for the applications that are there? SAP is one ERP, Dynamics 365 is FNY is one ERP, and PeopleSoft is one particular ERP. So what this ERP will do means ERP will consider all the requirements or the need that different departments of IT, not IT, that the different departments of an organization are having. So it will consolidate all those requirements or needs, and those requirements will be brought to one particular platform, and a solution will be provided. That one particular platform is an ERP product. Okay, so Dynamics 365 is one such ERP product which can, in this particular application itself, it is having the solution for the purchase management. It have the solution for the sales management. It have the solution for production management, finance management, inventory management, warehouse management, sales management, service management. human resources, payroll. For all these areas, Dynamics 365 has inbuilt functionalities available in the product or in that particular application, and through which it can provide some solutions to the business required. Solutions in the sense how to, let's say how the purchase operations can be carried out in a particular business. They can digitalize it or they can systemize it using the application called Dynamics 365. So if they do it, what will happen? They can have the real-time data. Real-time data of what? The available stock. Let's say if they are purchasing the stock, and upon creating the purchase order, upon processing the purchase order itself, we should have some real-time data of how much stock was purchased and what was the item, how much stock was there, and where it was there. So this information should be visible in the system. Now some sales order was created. How much quantity was sold, and after the sale, how much quantity was there in the system. So all those data should be available on in real time basis. Okay, so for these scenarios, for this particular business related requirements, we'll use Dynamics 365 F&O application. So Dynamics 365 is an ERP product. That's why we are learning about ERP in this particular demo session. So that's why I have added this particular slide in my demo session. Okay, so coming to the next one. So usually whatever the activity that we do in IT, we will name it as a project, and we will do this particular process. So for me, what if someone asks me what is a project? So I'll simply say them that a set of tasks which will be done by a single person or a group of persons within the stipulated time will be considered as a project. A set of tasks that will be executed by a single person or a group of persons within the stipulated time will be considered as a project. Okay, so for any project that people will do in IT will have six phases like this: analysis, design, development, testing, deployment, and maintenance. These are the six phases that we will have. So now, if you learn this, if you take up this particular course, what you are going to learn is you are going to learn the standard product of Dynamics 365. So what was there in the standard product of Dynamics 365, you will come to know that. So with respect to this particular trade and logistics area. So why learning the standard product is required for a particular person who wants to come to this particular Dynamics 365 area. So usually, if you learn the standard product, if you come to know the application, you will become. The name of the role that any person will get is functional consultant. So what this functional consultant do? What was the responsibility of the functional consultant is? Whenever the project was awarded to any particular company, functional consultant has to go to the customer site, and the first question that consultant, he or she, has to ask from the business is why the company business is looking for an ERP product um, for their business operations, and that person has to know the um, requirements from the customer, like how they are doing the purchase operations, how they are doing the sales operations, how they are creating the product, how they are using the product, and what are the products on which they are doing the business, what are the dimensions of that particular product, and etc., operational related questions. So once after that particular analysis and all the requirements are gathered now, so it's the job of the functional consultant to decide whether, based on the requirements that the person got, whether Dynamics 365 ERP is a right fit for their requirements or not. Forget about Dynamics 365 for now. Let's say if a requirement was there, you all know about Gmail, right? So let's say there was a requirement from the customer that they need a login page for an authentication kind of page for the in order to log into the mail account. So this was the high level requirement that a functional consultant got. Now functional consultant has to develop or design that particular design the solution of that particular requirement in such a way that there should be, I mean, upon clicking on that www.gmail.com, a page should be open, and in the mid of the page there should be two rectangular boxes available, and on top of the first box there should be a name called username, and on the top of second box there will be a name called password. Just below that there should be a button called login or sign in. Just below that, there should be two options called forward username and forward password, and those two options should be hyperlink. Hyperlink in the sense, upon clicking on that, system should route the user to the next page, to the other page, and there should be another option called sign up. And the other point is the person who has entered the right username and password, and after clicking on sign in, then only the user will be able to log into the mail account. By any reason, if wrong username and password are entered, system should throw an error message saying that username or password are wrong. Okay, so if the person has clicked on that particular forget username or forget password, so they have to be routed to the other page for resetting their username and password. This is how the functional consultant has to design that particular thing. It's the responsibility of the functional consultant only to to do all these things. Only one line requirement will be given, but they need a login page or a sign in page. This is how we have to develop it. So similarly, we have to do the same task with Dynamics 365 also. So the functional consultant we will do this particular under the phase called design. So functional consultant is responsible for doing that particular design. Now, whatever the design that was developed, so it has to be coded by the technical consultant. That coding part will be done by the technical consultant. Okay, once the code was developed, so we need to test that particular application again. I mean, we'll not do the code testing, but we will do the functional get testing. Each and every scenario that we have designed will become a test scenario, like the rectangular box is available or not. On top of it, that username is available or not, is spelling correct or not, and upon entering the right username and password, is system, and upon clicking on signing, is system allowing the user to log in or not, and if wrong username or password was given, so system is throwing an error message or not. All these things we call it as functional testing, and this functional testing has to be done by the functional consultant only. Okay, and then the deployment will be done by the technical consultant. The deployment is a task of moving the code to the right environment where the customer will use, and then maintenance. Under this maintenance means, let's say if the product was went live, whatever the assistance that was required by the end user, so that particular assistance has to be provided by the functional consultant only. Okay, so these are the responsibilities of the functional consultant. And now coming to the important note point here. So when a functional consultant will be able to decide whether a particular requirement that he or she got from the customer can be accommodated through the standard functionality, or it has to be customized. So the decision will be taken by the functional consultant only if that particular functional consultant has having the knowledge on the standard product. If a particular functionality or feature was available in the product or not, if the awareness was there, then the functional consultant will be able to decide whether he or she can has to customize it, or it does not require any customization there. So for that reason, we need to learn the standard product. So that's why we are enter this particular course, and through this particular course, I mean, I'll teach the standard product functionalities that are available, and we have a curriculum for that also. What we are going to teach, that curriculum will be shared to you people. Okay. So as you know, functional and technical consultant, if they work together, then only a successful project can be made. So now, I mean, I have mentioned some points about this Dynamics 365, which I have explained that about that real-time data-driven decisions. We can take real-time data-driven decisions, or it will enhance the business operations, blah 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 blah, like that. But the one question I have, which I'll ask, so why any company will look after or will take the license of an ERP product? Why any company will look after the license for an ERP product like Dynamics 365 or any other ERP? Why they will purchase the ERP product license?
To make the processes easier and smooth inside the company and to reach their business
Authorization.
goals.
Okay, sorry.
Authorization of that product, right?
Okay, okay.
And data security.
So all these are reasons, but any business person, what they will look after is the financial outcome. So in short form, I need to say it as ROI, return of investment. So if any company, if they have to buy an ERP product license means they have to invest some crores of money on it. It is not easy to get in lakhs. So where they have to invest some crores of money on it. Why any company will invest crores of money for purchasing the license of an ERP product like Dynamics 365 if they are not getting the expected financial outcome? It means that they are seeing the sales that are getting happen, but they are not getting the money based on the actual sales that happen. So in this particular scenario, if everything was done in the system, let's say better finances are possible only if they have better operations or a streamlined operations are being carried out in the business or in the I mean in that particular business. So better financial outcome is possible only when we have streamlined operations going on. Okay, so that's the scenario why any company will take the license of an ERP product like Dynamics 365. So now, what we are going to learn under this particular topic. So actually, under this particular trade and logistics course, we have four areas in particular: purchase management, sales management, inventory management, and product management. These are the four areas that we are going to learn in Dynamics 365 F&O trade and logistics course. When it comes to the purchase management, what are the configurations? What was the purchase order process that was there? What are the purchasing related concepts that are there? So all we are going to learn under this particular course. Same with the sales quotations, sales orders, how the sales orders can be processed. What are the different configurations that are available in the standard product to carry out the sales operation smoothly? And when it comes to the inventory management, how a particular the stock will be calculated or considered in a particular business. So all these scenarios we are going to learn under the inventory management, and we have a product information management also, how to handle a product. So that scenarios will come under the product information management. These are the four areas that we are going to cover, and these four areas we are having 6 modules in Dynamics 365, where under purchase these two are the ones: accounts payable and procurement and sourcing. When it comes to the sales, accounts receivable and sales and marketing. And when it comes to the inventory, we have inventory management. When it comes to the product, we have product information management. And we have a curriculum also what we are going to cover. So that curriculum you can get it from Visualpath. And we need 2.5 months for sure to complete the curriculum that we are going to provide you. So considering Monday to Friday, 5 sessions per week. So and the session will be for 1 hour. So and a fruitful time of 45 minutes to 50 minutes will be there for teaching, and remaining time will be taken for Q&A. 5 sessions per week, and a minimum of 2.5 months is required to complete the course. And now, I think someone, Nagaraj, I think, so SCM side. So I'll give you the clarity on SCM. So in the market, trade and logistics will be considered as SCM. 99% of the people will call this particular trade and logistics as SCM course. But when it comes to the actual supply chain management definition, according to the definition, these are the three different courses that are available under SCM: trade and logistics, advanced warehouse management, and production. Trade and logistics deal with 6 modules, advanced warehouse management 1 module, production it will deal with two modules. These are three different courses that are available in the market. And when you learn these three courses, it will be, I mean, you have, I mean, when you learn these particular three courses, then you can understand that you learned something on the operation side, and you will become SCM expert. So any two specifications are fine. If you ask me, and I'm the trade and logistics and advanced warehouse management consultant in the company that I'm working. Okay, so that was the scenario. So uh, I mean, it's bad to blame that trade and logistics is the SCM one. Okay, when you go for the certification of SCM also, SCM, the MB335 SCM expert. So it will contains the questions on this particular three courses. So, but one thing I can say for sure, it's a good start with the trade and logistics, because if we are going to start from the basics. what was the basic setup that we need to do before we do anything in the system. From there, we are going to start our course. So that's all from my end. If you people have any questions, I'm happy to answer those questions.
So is there any certification that you get if you complete this?
MB3. Actually, it's the certification exam you need to attend. Okay. So I can give you some contact number once after the completion of the course, and the person may assist you for the examination. So that certification number is MB330. MB335 is the SCM expert. MB330 is the supply chain management certification ID. MB330 and MB335. MB330 is the basic one. MB335 is the expertise level certification.
Which includes production and warehouse.
Yes, for both the things, all these topics are involved, but it depends on the if it is something expertise level, MB335 is the certification number which we need to do.
So how long this duration of this one?
It will be for 2.5 months. I mean, minimum of 50 sessions are required. 45 to 50 sessions are required for the completion of the course. Any other questions?
So after this 2.5 months, we should be in a good shape to try the M330, right? Certification.
You can give it a try, yes. And one more thing, so whatever the curriculum that we provide, if you focus towards the teaching, and I mean not exclusively I'm telling, so on a generalized scenario I'm just telling you people. So if you are thorough with the points that we have discussed in the class, and if you practice it on in this 2.5 months span, so whatever the experience that a 3-year experience candidate will have, you will be provided with that much of knowledge. That I can assure people. So I would say that 50% is my teaching and 50% will be your practice. End of the day, after 2.5 months, if you question yourself, did I get something out of it? Then if you 50% will be my teaching and 50% will be your practice. And to some extent, if you downgrade my teaching percentage to 40 and your practice to 60, I'm happy to accept that particular point also. Because human tendency, if one topic was discussed on day one, based on the human tendency, we will forget if we don't practice. Not, I mean, I'm using the word we. It applies for me also. If I take any new on day 26, we will not remember that particular day one, the topic which we have discussed on day one. So if you practice it, then definitely we can remember. But if there is no practice, people may forget. So there's a scenario.
This
Yes,
is including the TMS, transport management system, like label
no,
printing. No,
no.
that will be comes in warehouse or here.
Actually, this particular TMS is a very smart module. Uh, in the market, whatever the courses that are there, this
Yes.
unfortunately, this TMS was not involved in any of the course.
Oh,
It's not, I mean, to my knowledge, till today, the count of the businesses who are using TMS module are very, very less. There are some other tools which are in a very good shape than the TMS module that was available in Dynamics 365. So that's the reason.
okay.
So
So what
TMS
will
is
be
the
covered?
transportation management system. So
Yes.
just for others people's sake, I'm saying, yeah, continue with your question.
And then what will be covered in this trading and logistic model?
Purchase area, sales area, inventory management, and then product management. Hello.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah, these are the 4 areas that we are going to cover. And with respect to our curriculum, so those topics are spread over 6 modules. So you will be provided with standard product knowledge on those 6 modules, giving with respect to our curriculum.
So to
So
practice, can we download this Microsoft 365? I think it's a 30 days trial or something. So
Yeah, you can use that. You can use that. If you want to use the trial, you can use that. Yes.
my question is, how are we gonna practice it? Hands-on experience, as you spoken before. So will it be like a case studies or problem solving, task based, or how
What
you
we
go?
will do is, let's say if you take one particular topic on any day, so my
Yeah.
teaching will be like I'll focus on 3 things. What is that particular topic, why we have to learn that particular topic, and how to execute that particular functionality in D365. How it will deal about the with the practical session. Let's say if any particular thing was there, I'll show the practical also. Then later on, you will be provided with the recordings of the session, and by going through the recording, you people can practice. And if you have any questions, if you face any errors or warning messages, then definitely you can come back to me. We can discuss it over the class. And the application installation, either you can go for free trial version or you can get it installed in your laptop by spending some money.
Mm. Okay, so the training institute gonna provide us some software and to practice it, or
No,
how
uh,
is
no. What was the fees that was I mean, that you people will pay to the institute? It does not involve the software. So,
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
so 1 hour session plus how much practice time is required on daily basis? It depends from person to person. So some people, depending on their analytical skills and all, half an hour is sufficient for them. And some people require 1 hour, and some people require 2 hours. It depends on the analytical skills and depends on the from it depends from person to person. So I would suggest a minimum of an hour is required to practice. Sorry,
When it is planned to start?
as far as the information I had, it was from July 1st, but the final call will be taken by Visualpath only, the exact date and time. But it
Okay.
will not, most probably 90% of the scenarios, it will not go beyond July 1st.
So how about the job opportunity in this domain?
Good question, actually. I'll answer this particular question in a different way. Some people will, I mean, I'll just tell you people about the other question that I used to get in the demo sessions. Is it good to take the SAP or Dynamics 365? So this is also the other question that I used to get in demo sessions. So the for the question that you have asked and for the question that I told, so the common answer I have is, if you have opportunities are there in Dynamics 365. Okay, so if you know any of the person in IT industry who is already working in Dynamics 365 F&O, then you will have some easy way to get into IT on this particular ERP domain of Dynamics 365 F&O, because you will get some reference. Your CV will be sent by that particular person to the company, and the chances of getting shortlisted, the chances of getting your CV shortlisted are high. And as you are learning, and I took the responsibility, I mean, I'll take the responsibility of providing the knowledge of a person having 3 years experience, then definitely I think you will get the job. The opportunities are good, I would say. That was the answer I can say. But provided these days, depending on the jobs market outside, not only Dynamics 365, considering the overall IT related job market. So it will be an easy way for us if you know any other reference in IT who is already working in IT.
So is Accenture and all these companies also have something for D65 like they have for SAP, you know?
Accenture, they have a business line of Dynamics.
Okay.
Yeah.
think then all the service providers, Capgemini and all these guys.
Capgemini have.
Business perspective, is SAP and Microsoft Dynamics competing with each other, or they cater different businesses altogether?
Not like that. The SAP and Dynamics 365 are competitors only in the market. So that's why, I mean, I just repeated a few minutes back a question, right? Is it good to learn a SAP or Dynamics? Of course, they are competitors. Most probably, compare SAP is for very big organizations. The licensing cost is also very high. Dynamics, comparatively, the Dynamics 365 and O licensing cost is less comparatively with when we compare with SAP. And yeah, nowadays, this was emerging a lot when compared to SAP, as far as my knowledge is concerned. But yeah, if someone asks me which course I have to take, if you know the people under SAP who are already working on SAP, then it will be an easy task for you to get the reference on SAP. And if you know the people on Dynamics, it will be easy for you to get the reference under D365. So that's the scenario. Any other questions from anyone?
I think I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So still, if there are any questions, I mean, you can speak to Visualpath and they may arrange a conference call with me and we can discuss. Okay. So I think people from different region, I'm not sure whether it is afternoon or evening or morning. So if it is morning, have a good day. And the people from India, good night. Okay. Thank you.